hopefully everyone knows, like anyone who's buying a home these days, any millennial who's buying a home these days is getting parental help.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that, and not to bring it back to politics, although I intend to. The home ownership crisis is going to be, I think, the top issue, if not the top 2 or 3 issues that I'm certainly going to be hearing at the door. I have been hearing it already, knocking on doors for this campaign, for sure. And it's not just the millennials who can't afford a house. It's their parents who are saying, I don't want my 30-year-old, married couple living in my basement anymore. I don't want my grandkids to be couch surfing for the rest of their life, or living in a tiny condo that they can't afford to move into a home. The Canadian dream of a home that they own is increasingly coming out of reach of people. And so, yeah, we so for my kids, I recognize this, and so I'm going to make sure that we set them up not only to have the money that they need in order to go to university. I've got at least one daughter whose ambition is to become a doctor, so it's going to cost me a pretty penny, but I'm happy to pay every last dime of that, even if it makes me a little poor along the way, in order to make sure that they're there. But I want to also leave them enough of an asset when they leave school that they're not paying debt, that they're actually owning something. And that's the objective, and that's the goal.
So there's some folks out there who think we're bad people for being landlords. So hopefully you're in a position of leadership. Like, what are we bad people for being landlords?
Not at all. You're providing a great service. You're providing a service that people need. You're investing capital and deserve a return on that capital in providing a great service to people. I look at the property that we have that my wife and I own in Welland. Right now, it's a duplexed house, but the couple that are in there have both halves of the duplex, that up-down duplex. They're a young couple that struggled earlier in life, had some issues, some addictions issues and things like that. Great people, great couple. That they're raising 3 kids now. They've got a house. They've got a place that they can afford. They maintain it themselves. They do most of the work. We joked earlier that I do some of the contracting on things. It's usually with my tenant. He actually comes and helps me if something breaks and we have to repair it.
That's not common.
That's not common at all. But they're great people. And the deal that I have, or the offer that I've made to them, is that when I'm ready to sell, I wanted to sell it to them. And I want to do I don't know if it's a vendor take-back mortgage or a down payment assistance or something like that. I would love nothing more than to sell the house. I'll make a little profit, but help them get into their first home. And they're open to the idea. So they're starting to. It's not quite a rent-to-own situation, like they haven't paid me, a deposit or anything like that. But we have basically a handshake to say that when it comes time to sell, they'll have the first option. So sorry, you might not get the real estate commission on that one, Erwin, but
I'll survive.
You'll be fine.
I will survive.
But that's the type of thing. I think there are bad landlords. There's plenty of news stories about them. But the vast majority of people that I know that are in the business of providing rental accommodations, they're good people who want to provide a good product, a safe product, and they're helping people out.
Oh, if you need help with the paperwork, just let us know.
I will. Thank you.
Like, you're our client.
Thank you.
I don't even know what the term is, but I think much more bigger than just my pocketbook.
Oh, for sure,
right?
For sure. But it's that. I mean, what I just mentioned there. That type of down payment assistance or shared equity appreciation mortgages, all those types of innovations. That's where we're going to find the solution to the affordable housing crisis in Canada. And we need more of that type of thing. In my day job with Meridian, just yesterday I was speaking with the CEO of Habitat for Humanity, GTA, talking about on a grander scale, 1,000 units at a time scale, can we do that type of shared appreciation, down payment assistance, those types of arrangements. So I'm doing it a onesie twosie here in St. Catharines or Welland, but could we do that 1,000, 10,000 units? in Toronto or anywhere else in the GTA to build houses and build homes. And I think great opportunity exists to do that, where there's an opportunity for investors, pension funds, REITs, individuals, wealthy individuals, to provide down payment assistance to help people get their mortgage payments down to something affordable so that they can start to own. So I think there's just a tremendous opportunity in that space.
Did you listen to my episode with Daniel Dubois about Life at Key? We can talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, no, I think I've listened to that one. I'll make sure I look it up. I listen to most of your podcasts. You're on my regular playlist. Walking my dog on a Sunday morning. So
let's chat about it later. Maybe
Sure.
Maybe I'll introduce you if you think it's interesting.
yeah, please.
So your duplex, for example, like on a small scale, I think that's fixing the problem. It's something that individuals can do to help fix the housing supply issue.
Absolutely.
Right? You turned one house, a single family home, into two.
That's right.
You've doubled the housing supply for that piece of land.
That's right. So I had a property in St. Catharines, which I've since sold, but I bought it for round numbers. I think it was $375. I put $50,000, and I worked with your colleague, your friend Andy. We made an exceptionally safe basement apartment suite, two bedroom suite.
So all the building code.
To building code and then some. There's more fireproof caulking in this thing than you could ever shake a stick at. I mean, we had the fire inspector come in a dozen times,
And the city inspector.
City inspector.
So it's inspected for safety.
Absolutely. The very first tenant in the place was the daughter of a fire inspector from a neighboring municipality. He came in and looked around and said, "Yeah, this place is safe. I'll move my daughter in." That was the first tenant. That's a testament. Anyway, great place. Made affordable housing for two families. Well, in one of my first tenants was actually three friends that lived upstairs, and then a single mom and son living in the basement apartment. But a great place. I did that for $50,000 in capital, $60,000 in capital. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, the Prime Minister was in Brampton announcing a $120 million investment to build special purpose-built rental in Brampton for 300 families. That's $400,000 a unit. And it was a loan that they gave to the service provider in Brampton to build 300 homes. You're shaking your head. I'll make it worse. You know what? So with great fanfare, the Prime Minister comes to Brampton and says, "I am solving the affordable housing crisis in Brampton."
These are houses they're building?
It's in a 26-story apartment building.
You just buy an apartment building for less
Precisely.
money.
Precisely. So they're building this apartment building for
And it won't go over budget.
Yeah. $120 million, $400,000 a unit. I built my unit for $60,000 and provided that family. So go find 300 investors in the iWin network.
It won't be hard.
It won't be hard, and give them $50,000 instead of $400,000. But anyway,
Don't even have to give us any money. Just remove our red tape.
Precisely. So I'll make it even worse. I'll make the rest of your hair get pulled out. You know what the affordable housing wait list in Peel region is right now?
I don't even want to guess.
22,000 families. So the Prime Minister, with great fanfare, comes in and says, "I'm solving the affordable housing crisis in Peel region." He solved 1% of the problem with a $120 million investment. I don't begrudge the investment. We need it. We need a lot more of that. He needs to do a lot more of that. But don't claim that you've solved the problem when you've solved less than 1% of the problem. We need much more. We need many more creative solutions. We need to unleash investors like you and me to do dozens more, hundreds more, thousands more basement conversions, duplexes, triplexes, garden suites, et cetera, et cetera.
Because I'd garden suite all my properties tomorrow if they could just remove some of my red tape.
Right.
And I'll do it all in code.
Of course.
Right. It'll all be inspected by fire and building inspector, city
That's right.
inspector.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
You know, your insurance premiums is a very good incentive to do it right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Just the liability.
And the
My
liabilities,
Lord.
and just good conscience. You know,
Yeah.
I want to do these things and do them well and do them properly because it's the right thing to do. But it's also the best way to get a good return.
It is, yeah, because just simple math, my garden suite would increase my cash flow by $1,000 a month.
Sure.
And I'd create, again, housing of 400. I can build a garden suite for less than 400,000.
Yeah.
And it will be done way faster than this.
Yeah.
and it will be on land, which people want.
Yeah, the move-in date for this property is that the Prime Minister announced the other day is what, 2024? I'm guessing 2025. But to build a 26-story building, yeah, it's not going to be built in a year and a half.
And it's going to have budget overruns.
Well, yeah, likely.
Likely. How could it not be like 20% over budget? How could it not be more than that?
That's right.